Welcome back to Tech. I'm Adam Housley in Marina del Rey, California. We're on the road again. You're watching where news and technology collide. And today's topic to start off the show is something that really a lot of people may not realize about. And actually recently a few of us here at Fox have been talking about what happens when you really look at a computer for a long time during the day and how that is affecting eyesight for so many Americans across the country. Joining us now is Dr. Howard Purcell. He's a Senior Vice President of Customer Development at Essilor of America. You can follow him on Twitter at Crizal, C-R-I-Z-A-L USA, or also on the website at Crizal.com, again, C-R-I-Z-A-L. Doctor, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Happy to be here, Adam.
You know, we're out in the sun here this morning in Southern California, in Marina del Rey, California, and obviously the sun's out, so you want to use sunglasses normally when you're not doing a program like this. But when you're inside on the computer, for example, inside a satellite truck or back in the office, whatever you might be doing at home, it is extremely important to wear computer glasses. Now, you guys have something that's new on the market right now in the computer realm to help people with their eyesight, to protect their eyes in front of the computer. Explain that.
Yeah, that's true. And I think probably best to start off just to say you're clearly very familiar with the fact that how the evolution in technology has just been amazing over the past several years. Incredible stuff that's happening, but what we have to consider also are the impact on our eyes. The good news is a lot of great things happening in terms of technology, in terms of science, in terms of research around really understanding what that impact has on the visual system, on eye health. And so, yeah, the fact of the matter is there's been some great discoveries, some real innovative things coming to the marketplace. What we've learned is when we spend so much time on tablets, on our smartphones, on our computers, the lighting that's emanated from that is different than what we've exposed our eyes to in the past. So it starts to become important to learn more about that light, what impact it has on the eye, on the visual system. And there's been some really interesting learning around there. So yeah, you're right. We're spending a lot more time in front of computers, spending a lot more time in front of our smartphones. Those phones, those computers emit, if you think of the visual spectrum kind of as a rainbow, they emit blue light. And the blue light's been the one we've been focusing on a little bit more. Historically, UV light, I think a lot of people are familiar with that, the impact that UV has on the body, on the skin, and on the eyes. But the more recent discovery is that the time we're spending in front of these devices is exposing our eyes to a lot more of blue light than we've really ever had before. LED is really the culprit of that, and it's pretty much in everything that we have. So the new discovery is let's make sure we're protecting our eyes from that blue light. But most importantly, and really going beyond that, it has to do with the selective blue light. Because the critical part is there's good blue light, there's bad blue light. So our new discoveries have enabled us to create products. The one we're talking about here is called Crizal Prevencia. And what it is selectively block what is determined and been determined to be the bad blue light, just to make it simple, and allowing the good blue light to get through. Good blue light's important. It's important to sleep habits. It's important to mood. So we really have to be careful when we're blocking blue. We don't want to block all the blue. And that's really the newness to the innovation that's hit the marketplace.
Yeah, Doctor, I have a question because, you know, we sit a lot of times in front of computers for long periods of time. We have multiple cell phones and smartphones out in the field, that kind of thing. And I have really good eyesight. I've never had to wear glasses or anything. I only mention that because last year I started to have a little bit of a time where the back of my eye would almost feel like it was tickling as a police cruiser pulls in here nearby. You can hear some of the banging in the background here on where we're located. And when I went to my eye doctor, he told me, you know what, that's because it's eye strain, most likely, that tickling you're feeling in the back of your eye. So he prescribed me a pair of glasses that took the glare off of the computer screen. And that seems to have helped. But explain how they're clear glasses. You're talking about taking away blue light. Is there a difference there for people who've gotten computer glasses to take off the glare, which also I assume isn't the best for your eyes? That's different than what you're talking about in taking away the blue light, correct?
You're right, and those are two really good points, and let's make sure we cover both of those. First of all, the glare. There are great, what we call anti-reflecting products that exist out there today. When we mentioned Crizal Prevencia, so Crizal brings to the table the non-smudge, the non-glare, the non-dirt, those kinds of protection that you get from your lenses. Critically important to assure when you're looking at those screens, etc., that you're not squinting, that you're not stopping blinking, which dries the eyes out, that you're not staring consistently. And that's the other piece that's important. When we talk about fatigue, as practitioners, we've seen so much more of that today, particularly in young people, but older people as well. The reality is we don't blink as much, and I guess probably the best way to think about it is think about the eye as a muscle. There are 6 muscles that move the eye. There's one muscle that focuses the eye. And when we're focusing consistently at one distance, as if you're using one muscle and tightening it in one position and holding that position for long periods of time. So really there's some simple things you can do. Not only, first of all, make sure you're wearing the the right eyewear. So correct your vision appropriately. Make sure you have a non-glare type of product like a Crizal. Protect your eyes from the blue light like Crizal Prevencia. But then also, just a couple quick tips. 20-20-20 rule. It's an easy one to remember. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break, look 20 feet away. Really simple thing to remember, but it's enabling that muscle to work at a distance, and it will actually strengthen the muscle. Like any muscle in your body, these can be strengthened. There are some of us who get beyond that point, as we say, reach our 40s or so, and then we have anti-fatigue types of lenses. You need to ask your eye care practitioner. Obviously, in your case, it helped a lot. So talk to your eye practitioner about the kinds of issues you're facing, what you're feeling. There are a lot of great products out there that really could help.
Doctor, one more quick question for you. Now, there is something I'm going to have you give me a bit of an eye exam here, even though you're thousands of miles away. So, for example, when I went to my eye doctor 6 months ago, everything was fine. Now, it seems like when I look at things close, I have to almost hold them away a little bit. Can that be corrected? Is that from looking at a computer screen too much? Because recently, in the last few months, we've been spending a lot of time in front of the computer. Is that something that would basically be potentially corrected by wearing some of these computer glasses that you guys are, of course, have on the market?
Right, so Adam, I'm going to try to make a diagnosis long distance here, which is never a great thing for a doctor to do, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. There's a couple things that could be going on. Certainly fatigue, as we talked about earlier, that constant desire and demand for vision up close could be part of the issue. But candidly, the other part of the issue is the way the eye evolves. We have a lens inside our eye, and that lens has to change focus. It's controlled by a donut-shaped muscle, and that lens sits in the middle. The older we get, the larger the lens gets. It gets less flexible. It can't flex and move in order to change focus. The older we get, that donut-shaped muscle gets a little bit weaker. The combination of those two things leads to something called presbyopia. Just a fancy name to say my arms aren't long enough anymore. When I bring print in close, it's harder to see. By the way, the important thing to note there, that's normal. It happens to all of us eventually. And there are great tools, particularly progressive lenses, which give you a corridor of vision, so every distance should be clear. Great products for that, Verilux being the premium product that handles that situation. So you need to get into your eye doctor, get your annual eye exams, make sure you ask the questions, tell them about the symptoms you're having. There are great tools, just as there's innovation on the tech side, there's innovation in the spectacle lens side that can really help you be a lot more comfortable, enjoy reading, enjoy doing that close work.
All right, Dr. Howard Purcell, thanks for the several thousand mile away eye update. I appreciate that. If you want to learn more about what the lenses and the great things on the market from Crizal, you can find out more, of course, on their website. It's Crizal.com, as well as you can follow them at Crizal USA on Twitter. Dr. Howard Purcell, Senior Vice President of Customer Development, SLR of America. We appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to checking out some of your lenses.
Thanks a lot, Adam. I appreciate it.
All right, I'm Adam Housley. We're on the road today in Marina del Rey, California, and you're watching Tech Take.